Welcome back. This is episode 3 of a 5-part video series about how I turned my life around. Episode 1, I kind of shared my rock bottom and my lowest points. Episode 2 was cutting people out that were bad for me and getting sober. And then episode 3 is going to be about the daily habits and the daily routine that I implemented into my life that finally worked. Let's get into it. Habit number 1, waking up early. Now, I'm not huge on, oh, you gotta be up at 3:30 in the morning, you gotta wake up before everyone else. Fuck that. I woke up early because I had to for work. Over time, I just kind of got used to it, and it built a lot of discipline because I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning no matter what to make it to work on time. And for the first time in my whole life, I was getting a good night's rest because I would go to bed at like 7:30, 8:30, and then wake up at 4:30. So it kind of forced me to get good sleep. And I think people really underestimate the power of good sleep. Habit number 2. This was the backbone to my whole routine, to my whole getting sober, everything, was the gym and running. So my days kind of looked the same. I'd wake up 4:30, go to work, I'd go to the gym, I'd work out, I'd go home, I'd run, and then I'd make a healthy meal and I'd go to bed. And that was my day 6 to 7 days a week. And the gym really was that place where I started to build discipline because I went no matter what. If I felt like shit, if I was tired, if I had a long day, I didn't really give myself the option to just opt out of the gym. I went no matter what. There was one point where I went to the gym like 70 days in a row because I looked at my app and it checks like your login history. And I went to the gym every single day for 70 days. And some of those days were 2-a-days. And, you know, in hindsight, it's probably not the smartest idea because I wasn't giving my body any rest. But it was one of those things where if I don't go today, I'm not going to go tomorrow. And it just really built that discipline up because every single day, no matter what, I knew I was going to go to the gym. Running was also a big one. I would run 3 to 4 days a week. I wasn't as big on running as I am now, but I still ran a lot. So it was work, gym, run. And that was the backbone to my whole routine. That basically saved me. Habit number 3, journaling and yoga. Now, I could have implemented this a little bit more and I think it would have helped me a lot, but I still did it 2 to 4 times a week. When it came to journaling, I would journal when I felt like shit, to be honest. If I was having a rough day or a rough week, then I would bring out the journal. It wasn't like, oh, I'm happy right now, so I'm going to bring out the journal. I didn't really do that. I should have. I would either write in my actual journal or do a video journal. And it was a way for me to get my words out without calling a friend or a family and being a burden to them, which, again, I should have done that. Who cares? Journaling was just kind of one of those things where when I hit a low point of my day or my week, then I would journal. But I still journaled like 2 to 4 times a week. And then when it came to yoga, every Wednesday I would go to this like yoga class on the beach. Yoga is extremely good for the mind and the body. It really taught me how to slow down. It also taught me how to take care of my body. Because when you start stretching like that and doing yoga, you realize how much you neglect stretching and like really taking care of your body and how damaged your body really is. So I kind of leaned into that. I would do the yoga class once a week on the beach, and then I would do yoga just in my apartment 3 to 4 nights a week. And that was a really good way for me to just kind of slow down and kind of regroup. Habit number 4, learning every single day. This was fucking huge. So I worked at a golf course. I just sat on like a fairway mower or a greens mower, whatever I was mowing that day, for 8 hours straight. So I just put in my headphones and then I quit listening to music. I would just put on like a YouTube video or a podcast or an audiobook. So if it was a YouTube video, it was either motivation, like Motiversity or Eddie Pinero. If it was stocks, I would listen to stock videos or audiobooks or podcasts about successful entrepreneurs, just stuff like that. Anything to expand my knowledge on money, business, self-help, relationships, basically anything. And I mean every single day, 8 hours a day, I put my headphones in and that's what I would be listening to. So I'm really lucky I had that opportunity to do that at work because work was so fucking easy. I could just put my headphones in. I could damn near close my eyes and do it. And that really gave me the opportunity to really focus on what I was listening to. Because I could just sit there and mow all day while listening to all this great information that's completely free all over the internet, and I could just listen to that. And over time, that's when I really started to develop my skill in the stock market and self-help in general, and it was just a really good tool that I used, and everyone can use it. Habit number 5, a clean diet. Now, this one wasn't too hard for me. I never really had any problems with food. I don't really care about food. I don't like food. I gotta force myself to eat. So this one was pretty easy for me to implement. I would just cook chicken, rice, smoothies. That was basically it. So I ate really clean. I never bought snacks. I didn't eat any junk food. When you eat clean, you feel good. And when you eat like shit, you feel like shit. So eating clean was just one of those things that just kind of topped everything else off. It was just kind of the cherry on top. And that gave me the fuel, and I felt good to go about my day. So those were the 5 most important habits that I implemented every single day into my life. And looking back, it wasn't glamorous, right? If you had like a bird's eye view, a time lapse of my life, it's pretty fucking boring. It was lonely and it was boring. It probably didn't look great. It probably looked really depressing, but it was kind of a necessary part of my process. It was really important to implement those habits and do them every single day until I built myself up to the person I needed to be. And I'm still doing that. I'm still working on those habits, still building myself up to get me to where I want to be. But there was one point I just looked in the mirror and I realized I was not the same person. I looked different. I looked good. You know, I was going to the gym. I had a better physique. I was taking care of myself. I was eating clean. I had good hygiene. I'd shaved my head. So I just looked at myself and I was like, I look good. Like, I look healthy. And the thing is, when you start to see those little wins add up at a time, that's your motivation to keep going, right? You see your biceps start to come in a little bit. That's your motivation the next day at the gym. You're like, oh, this shit works, right? You see all this work that you're putting into yourself and you get little wins at a time. That's your motivation to keep implementing these habits into your daily life, because you realize they do work. They take a lot of time, and they take time to finally show. But when they do show, that's your reward, and it feels pretty fucking good. So those are the 5 biggest habits I implemented into my life, but it wasn't necessarily just the habits that got me to that next level. It was the mindset behind those habits. And that's what episode 4 is all about. Kind of those mindset shifts that got me to be able to implement those things into my life. Kind of what was going on in the back of my head that got me to do shit like that. So that's what episode 4 is going to be about. Stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one.